Yo! Yayo Talk Show!
Dreamin'! Don't give it up, Molly.
Dreamin'!
Don't give it up, Marco.
Dreamin'!
Don't give it up, Katie.
Dreamin'!
Al's name didn't fit. They talk about the show, this group of four friends been going for 1,000,000 years, there's no end. Watching every arc and saga, no sleep. It's the king of anime, 1,000 episodes deep. Yayo Talk Show! Talking about One Piece. It's the name of the podcast. We're not on Vine. Yayo Talk Show. Talking about One Piece. What's up, witches, privateers, and non-binary buccaneers? Welcome aboard the most chaotic One Piece podcast on the Grand Internet. It's time, finally, for the Yayo Talk Show musical episode. Here we go, everybody.
What?
And a one, and a two, and I'm kidding. Come with us now.
It's 9 a.m.
To a land of joyous song. That's right. A Twitch subathon gone wrong as we talk about One Piece Film Red. But before we start, let's introduce the crew. Hey, Captain. Molly D. Simpy, how you doing?
I was expecting, I don't know, because it was probably because I was listening to it last night, but I was fully expecting for like the Phantom of the Opera theme to start playing when you said that. And I was like, what could stress me out more than the quiz show music? Ah, yes. The Phantom of the Opera.
Full orchestra
organs.
Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah, you know.
Wild theorist Kaden Jensen.
Hi, this is the musical movie where the music happens, and also there's some very quirky things that they say about the idol industry, and we're gonna get to that soon.
I'm gonna put a pin in that. Ladies and gentlemen, you've all waited for it. It's the Laugh Beppo, Al McClelland.
Hey,
Laugh Beppo.
the Laugh Beppo. Sumimasen.
The person who stole the show every time.
I love Beppo, so
It's
good
Al
for him.
and Beppo.
Well, also Al. I do love Al
At the
as
same
well.
time,
But Beppo's living his best life. Beppo's out there.
Can we
you
just
know?
agree that like Beppo's moments in this movie are some of the
moments.
best comedy moments in the entire thing, and also little tiny Beppo is
little
so
Beppo,
cute.
Baby
Little-
Beppo.
We're getting into
little
it.
Beppo.
Well, hold on. I'm the internet's gentleman, Mark B. Donikin. The B stands for Baby Beppo. Let's get into it.
Great. Oh, stop. So you're Mark Babibo. Wait, you're Mark B.
Mark Babadonica.
Babonica, because
There's
it's the B.
the first
Two
B is
Bs.
silent.
Two B's.
I'm just a little guy.
If we're just talking about Beppo
Don't
for
ever
1
do
second.
that again.
But I'm just a little guy.
Please never do that again.
What's wrong with being a little guy?
Remember the stuff that was happening in Molly's channel earlier
Suddenly
today?
a lot of
This is
things
my
are wrong with
equivalent of
being a
that.
little-
Immediately got derailed. Immediately.
I'm sorry.
I do like that. The only reason Law is in this movie is that he's playing he's the dad who goes to the Taylor Swift concert with his daughter.
That does so much for Law and Beppo as characters.
It
Like,
really
street
does.
friends.
And Law is
Right.
just very tired. It's like, I'm not here for this.
We'll park the
Beppo is.
sub.
It's like when my mom took my brother and I to the first Pokemon movie, and the movie wasn't working correctly, and everyone was like, ah! And she's the only one who got up and went to go tell the theater workers to fix it, and they fixed it, and we were like, yay! And we're like, thanks, Mom. She sat down and immediately passed out for the duration of the movie.
I was gonna say that was all that my parental chaperones did, is they all just passed out.
Yeah. My mom fixed the movie for us and then earned herself an 1.5-hour nap.
This is a good nap.
Yeah.
She missed the Vikings joke, though. So, like,
Yeah.
that's on her.
She caught the like first little bit of the short, but it was like off screen and glitched. So, you know.
She's just like, no, I'm good.
Knowing my parents, they did actually see that movie in its entirety at some point at the house by walking by the amount of times my brother and I watched it.
Yo.
They just need to
Dedication.
piece it together. And in
My
in
dad
what
knew
order
who
they
Team
saw it.
Rocket was. My dad definitely knew. He would always come in and be like, oh, is Team Rocket blasting off again?
Legend.
Dude,
Absolute
your dad
legend.
rocks. Your
Yeah, my
dad's
dad's
cool as
pretty-
hell.
My parents are pretty cool. I don't want to humble brag about
Hey,
it.
you
but-
know what? You know what? You should ask your dad if you're famous because of the podcast yet.
Oh my God. He's going to ask how many people listen to our podcast. And I'm going to say it's not about the numbers, father. And he goes, sounds like you're not popular. And I'm like, all right, cool. speaking of dads, in this movie,
Thanks for the support, father.
This
Speaking
movie is all
speaking of
about
support
dads.
fathers, yeah, this is all about papas. We've
good papas,
feel
bad
like that's
papas,
One
you
Piece
decide.
I feel like that's One Piece in general, though. Like, the stories of moms are just like, either their mom doesn't exist, their mom died off screen, or their mom is important to them and then they die, so then it doesn't really matter anymore.
Or their mom is big.
Or their mom is big,
literally the largest mother.
but then
Not a
is
good mom.
immediately overshadowed by a giant dragon man.
Yeah, but it also is not not the best mom. She's pretty toxic.
She's just large.
She's
Not bad, just
The
large.
only defining
She's just
feature.
large mother.
Large and in charge mother?
No,
Okay.
I mean,
just large.
just large, big.
Just large.
So I mean, I know we've technically started talking, but we've said nothing. So I wanted to
No, we
Direct.
talked about Beppo.
I want to direct just a little bit in terms of what everybody's sort of like general thoughts about the movie were.
Let
and
everybody else go first because I got thoughts.
Okay.
Al?
well, this movie is about what you do with an existential crisis. And whether you decide to escape and take everybody with you, or whether you decide to stay and fight. And there's several layers within that. But those are the two main dichotomies, I think.
I got one to add to that.
That's what you pulled?
I got one to add to that.
Okay.
It's also about an entire group of people pinning their hopes and dreams on one person and putting all that pressure on them and watching them have a psychotic breakdown and then ultimately making a sacrifice play for all of them, even though a good chunk of them probably didn't deserve it.
Also, Al, what you just said, I realized this is kind of like a cult movie.
A
Like,
little.
kind of like, it's kind of, yeah, Uta's kind of got a cult going on.
Yeah,
definitely.
but also like her
A cult
cult's
of
one of the
personality.
her cult's a cool one, not like one of the like unfortunate cults.
Once you start reading the literature, it gets a little concerning, but the first part's fun.
She was about to
Ultimately-
kill them all without making them drink the Kool-Aid.
Ultimately, like 75% of Uta's cult stuff is great news for everyone. That last little 25% is concerning, but
That's where
still,
they get you.
but still far less concerning than literally everything that all of the military and the world government do in just this movie. Not even counting in the rest of One Piece, but just this movie. So I'd take Uta's stuff over what the world government does in this movie any day.
I like Uta. Let me just
Good
be
thought.
clear. Let me just be clear. I like Uta. I'm gonna come for her, but I like her. Well, I'm not really coming for her. I'm coming for Oda, honestly. I kind of hate that he retconned for a movie because I do like the premise of this, and I do like seeing the red hair pirates in this like parental position.
Also,
But
Ben Beckman.
Literally, well, of course, I mean that's fine. But like, I hate that he retconned this, and it changes so much of the first chapter. Like, literally, Shanks' whole thing is that he's not gonna let Luffy on his ship because he's just this kid and he needs to grow up first and then he can become a pirate. When Uta's standing right there. Now we have context that Uta was there the whole time, and it's like, it doesn't make any sense, Shanks.
Well, it does
Jeez.
because it was different. Luffy was already on a place and Uta was in a treasure chest that they took from bad pirates. And it's like, well, crap. What are we going to do with this? So, like, there is an understanding of, like, yeah, crap. What do we do now? And now she's been here long enough because we're not going to just, like, drop her off somewhere because we don't know where to trust in this area. All right,
Well,
now we'll go to this
no.
area. Now
No.
she'll have a friend or whatever.
No. At any point, you could have given her
I'm
a safer authorities. Maybe not. Well, I guess Yasop had a kid, but he didn't raise his kid. But like,
I mean, the last time a kid got thrown to somebody, it was Garp, and Garp's just like, nope. Throws the
CrUno
kid,
reverse
throws
card.
2 kids, just like no. So like,
just,
it was
like-
kind of nice seeing an older character be just like, okay, I guess I accept responsibility. Even if it works a little bit against canon, I did like it.
Why wouldn't they have just dropped Uta off with Yasop's wife then? You know what I mean? Like then
because Yasop's wife was gonna die.
But he didn't know that.
Yeah, he did.
Didn't know that. No, he didn't.
Knew.
He's
got observation hockey. He knew.
Uta
He was
could
just
have
like,
grown up
I gotta get the hell out of here.
on a safe island with Usopp, and everything would have been fine. It's like there's just so many holes I can poke in this story, and that's what drives me crazy. I like it in general. Like I like the characters. I like seeing these characters in these roles. Like I like seeing Luffy with a sister. I mean, I love all this stuff, but it's like I just wish that there was more forethought, like planned into it. Because it's like I do enjoy this, but it's so easy to poke holes. Also, I hate in the movie when they literally like, all right, we're just gonna go and like leave Uta and then come all the way back. That we were in the like not even the Grand Line, like we were in the like what the Red Line, and they went all the way back to the East Blue. Like that's just something you can do.
I mean, he's Shanks. He can do whatever he wants.
No, you can't, because you have to like either take your ship to Fishman Island and go underneath the line, or you have to get an entirely new boat to get over it. And it's
dude,
just
you
like,
know that man's got so many boats.
The casualness of like, yeah, we just did it. And it's like, that's not how this universe works. And it's driving me crazy. We just spent so many chapters.
Hold on.
We spent 25 years learning that that's not how it's done.
Let Molly have this for a minute. Let Molly
I got my hand up. I got my hand up.
Well, push it. No, you can actually do it. Click the button. Click the button. Click it. You can actually do it.
I got my hand up.
Okay.
I got my hand up.
Go ahead, bud. Go ahead.
One of the things we learn in the lead up to this movie.
Mr. Actually here with the voice and everything.
Well, one of the things that Molly was like, hey, did y'all see that there was a comic that they gave out in Japan only?
I was going to wait till the end about that.
Well,
I wanted to blow their minds.
It's very valid in this conversation.
Well, then can I?
I would love for you to, because then I would like to have a follow-up for that.
Okay, because I also am like, I understand the setup here. Okay, I understand what Oda's doing. I understand it. It just feels lazy to me, and I love and respect him, and that's fine. But I just would have liked a little bit more, you know?
Wow, I'm glad we just didn't have an entire episode where we talked about Oda listening to the podcast.
That's fine. He should listen, because I want him to bring, if he's going to pull this crap, I want more flashbacks about Uta then. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Also, don't forget to draw Garpon.
I believe I wrote that as a sticky note and stuck it to his desk so he doesn't
stapled it to his
one.
forehead.
Yeah.
That's the real reason he censors his face, is because he's got a sticky note stapled to his forehead that says "Draw Garp Hot"
with a little fish drawing on it,
and it's an angry face.
So I went digging after the movie, and I told Mark about this immediately, and we had to wait until Al watched the movie, and I believe we told Al, but I can't remember. Caden, we're telling you this now.
Cool, thanks!
The movie release that happened last year, as part of like the incentive to go see it in the theater, you got this free little manga, I'm not sure how many pages, as like a free, like, it's a little, some more context, because even Oda is like, ooh, I gotta figure out how this stitches together. And in the free manga that you got, we get this, like, probably like the only blip about God Island that we have, where we see Roger's crew leaving the island, like, yeah, we did it, boys, and we got all this treasure, ha ha ha. And they hear like a baby crying, and they're like, do you guys hear that? And they open one of the chests, and inside the chest is little baby Shanks. And it's like almost like a shot for shot of when we see Uta in this video of like
Shanks.
Shanks.
Do a flashback to it.
Yes. But it's like a shot for shot of like when Rogers found Shanks in a treasure chest, and then when Shanks found Uta in a treasure chest. And that's why he's like, oh, maybe it's fate. Maybe I have to raise this child now, because he related it to when Roger found him.
It happened to him.
But it's like pretty heavily implied, and we get a line in this movie. It's kind of implied that like Shanks is a celestial dragon. Like he is from a celestial dragon bloodline, and they say it in this movie. It's like the Finnegar bloodline,
Figureland.
Thank you.
Figarland, Figureland.
There's a line where they're like, well, if this is Shanks' daughter, it'll be, it's a shame that we have to kill off like the Figureland line or whatever, like the blood line.
It'll be a waste of Figureland blood.
Yeah.
I
And
think it's something like that.
is freaking crazy. For something that they were just like, they just handed to people. Like, I've only found a double-page spread of this manga. I have yet to find, like, the full thing online anywhere translated, or, like, even, like, just images of it. There's, like, this two-page spread of seeing Roger find Shanks in this little treasure chest. And that's huge. And they still haven't mentioned it anywhere else yet. And it's like, what the heck? And
that explains to me why Shanks holds so much gravity when he shows up at Marineford.
yeah.
And everybody goes, crap. We still kind of have to listen to this guy. And that to me tells me how he has such easy access getting around the various oceans.
Yeah.
Is he can still use his station somehow.
VIP card.
Yeah, exactly.
I do wonder, I do have a theory that which we just saw and like got through it in Wano, is there's a scene where Odin says in his journal when they get back from the One Piece, or Laugh Tale, Shanks asks Roger a question, and when Roger responds, he starts crying. And I'm like, kind of like, is he asking about his bloodline here? Like, because it's like, when did he figure it out? When did Roger tell him? Like, you know what I mean? Like, was it always known? Was it not known? Like, I don't know. I have a theory that's it's him telling him.
Do they have blood tests in the world
They
of One
probably
Piece?
do, but why would pirates go out of their way to do a blood test? When you think
You know
about
what?
it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean,
Unless they're like, okay, you're clear on this other thing you were worried about. And then while we were already fucking around, like, we found out that like, congratulations, and then balloons fall from the ceiling. Like, you are a celestial dragon.
but also, like,
Congratulations,
who
you're
would do your
actually a
blood
clone
test? Caesar
of-
Clown?
No, Chopper.
Yeah, Chopper, not born yet Chopper.
Caesar would do it if you paid him like hundreds of thousands of berry.
Or,
Yes, Molly?
Good
Chopper's pseudo mom.
Dr. Kureha?
Kureha?
Yeah, but they
Same price.
for the same
How old
price.
is
Yeah. shakes hands with Mark. Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
Mark,
yeah.
how old is Dr. Kureha?
I can't remember. Hey, let's talk about we're not gonna go like bit by bit through everything.
Let's start over. Talk about the beginning though.
Okay.
Not the whole beginning.
They go to an Idol concert. The
They're
Straw
at a
Hats
Taylor
go to an
Swift
Idol
concert.
So-
Taylor Swift.
No,
Molly?
do not associate Uta with Taylor Swift.
Uta,
Okay.
Miku makes sense.
It's relevant in my mind.
It's okay. So there's some things I want to say about Uta in general. Okay, I think her name is lazy. I think
Why?
her name. What do you mean? Wwhy?
What's it mean?
Song.
What's her? Okay, yeah, her name is Song. What did she eat?
Okay.
The Uta
Uta
no Mi.
Uta no Mi.
Yeah, the song. She basically. Hey, look, it's she
Uta
ate the-
Uta no Mi.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the other beef I have with this movie. I think she already had it when they found her, but like also, like, so Shanks messed up twice, or he let two kids in front of him eat devil fruit. It's not a good parent.
Whatever.
What's up with
That's
that?
probably why he was just like, crap, not again with Luffy. It's just like,
But there's so many other dads there that should also be watching.
Yeah, Ben
true.
Beckman should
whatever.
have
Yeah,
been.
it's Ben Beckman's fault. Honestly,
his fault.
he's the smartest person in One Piece.
That we
I
met at that
know
point.
that
Can't
was-
even
Shut up!
keep a
Shut
kid
up!
from
I
eating
will
the
hit
fruit.
you with my keyboard.
By like chapter 400, 500, yeah. But since then, absolutely.
Well, like, okay, by chapter 400, he's the smartest, and this all happens before chapter 400 for, like, them letting... Okay, so, like, Ben Beckman, it's your fault. I'm never letting this die.
Shanks is the dad who's like McDonald's every day because
Shaking hands
he
with
wants to eat McDonald's. Like he is the fun dad.
Dude,
quote
I
unquote.
wish Shanks was my dad.
I don't. I like my dad.
That's
As I
So
was just-
nice.
As I was just bragging about my
Molly
parents
immediately-
earlier.
I'm happy for you.
No, thank you. I do like my dad.
But I think that Uta's name is a little lazy.
Yeah,
It's
that's
cute
fair.
though. Like it's cute though, and I think it's great, and I think it's fun. She's got a fun character design. She's very idle. She's very, she's very internet age design. So she's got a lot of like
Internet
tech
coded.
built. I mean, she's internet idol coded, absolutely. Like she's got the headphones thing. She's got she's very Vocaloid in her
Oh
design.
yeah, that's the best way to Caden. Yes, 100%. That's the best way to describe her character design is that she's very Vocaloid. I didn't even realize that. You're right.
I think that works so well. Her Devil Fruit is super cool. Both in Japanese and in English, her voice actresses are freaking phenomenal. The thing that the one big gripe I have, though I do understand it's probably licensing rights and all that blah 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 whatever. Also time, because this takes a long time to do. The singing voice is a different person for both, because they don't redo the music in English. So Ado is the singer for Uta in Japanese. So the voice actress is not singing for Uta in Japanese. It's Ado who is this who is a shocking singer, YouTuber, idol, blah 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 blah. And she does an amazing job. In the English dub, they got Amelie, who is literally exactly the same thing. Like, got her start doing a lot of like anime covers, did a lot of stuff on YouTube. You can still see her doing a lot of that stuff. She's Monarch as a VTuber, and like her whole thing is being a music VTuber and having that all be a part of her, and that's been her whole legacy. It's like it felt like a lost opportunity to dub the music officially, but however, if you'd like to hear it in English, Amelie has done covers, and they've been releasing after Film Red. So you can go and check it out in English if you'd like. Amelie does a wonderful job doing covers for the music from the movie, and there's some that I actually like that Amelie does, that I feel like Amelie does better. There's a little bit of growl and gravel to it that I think I appreciate a little bit more. But overall, both performances are fantastic. They're all really wonderful. If you want to hear the songs in English, you can. Amelie has done them. Otherwise, the music is phenomenal in this movie, and I really, really like it. And I know that there's one thing that Molly's going to bring up about the music. I disagree, but it's mostly a matter of taste, and that's it. No. Molly talked about... No, stop. Molly talked about this to me for like 2.5 hours without spoiling anything when the movie came out. So I'm referencing something that happened already.
I did want to ask Caden, did you listen to the Japanese version?
Oh yeah, I absolutely did. I did my due diligence. I did the both things.
Yeah. I'm just asking.
Yeah, of course.
I'm trying to pull up the album right now, so
I was gonna ask.
Like I said, the dub of the anime did not replace the music. It is all the Japanese music.
If Molly wanted to respond to Caden's.
Well, I have no idea what she's talking about, but I just wanted to ask.
It's the rap song, Molly. It's the rap song,
I wanted to ask
Molly.
what everybody's favorite song was.
Fleeting Lullaby, 100%. Now I was going to ask Caden that. Did you hear the it's my favorite part of that song when she's got this little feral hee.
Yeah.
In the Japanese. Oh, I love it so much. Good for her. Good for her.
I probably have to give it to... Honestly, I got to give it to Top Musica.
Yeah.
It's got to be Top Musica
It's
for
so
me.
metal.
It's
like,
so metal.
I mean, in a pinch, like I think New Genesis is like the boppiest.
By the way, it's Fleeting Lullaby and Top Musica for me, Molly. Just to back you up.
I hear it. Molly's playing it in the background.
I had to double check the right song. It's Backlight and Fleeting Lullaby are my two favorite, because the Backlight fight is so
the Backlight fight rules.
When everybody's attacking her and it's like kind of like, we don't want to really hurt you, Uda, we like you, and she's like, nah, and then Frankie comes in with like this mega gun and she's like, oh, it's on, and it's like, ah. It's so cool. Like, it's like literally that, because she also like drops the beat when she like counters Frankie's attack. and it's like, like I remember in theaters, like I was like losing my, I was like, I have like goosebumps talking about this right now.
Dude,
I'm like,
I would say if this was my first One Piece movie that I got to see in theaters, and for the music and the sound design alone, holy cow, what an experience.
Kaden, the next one, you'll be all caught up.
Yeah, I know, in like 6 years. By the way, just adding this on there, the adaptation for the English versions of the songs that were covered by Amelie on Ama's YouTube channel and are not official were written by Brina Palencia, excuse me. And if you know who Brina is Chopper. So
Wow.
So full circle. It's really cool.
I do
worth
wish
listening to.
That in the sound, I mean, Mark and I have talked about this before, but the Bink Sake at the very end of this album, I love her rendition. I would have loved to then see like Bink Sake, her with the whole crew.
There's a fan edit that I listen to all the time.
Good.
And I'll post that in our Discord. Okay. And if you're listening to this and you've seen the movie, just look for Bink Sake Uta, and it'll probably be the first thing that comes up. It's got pictures of everybody in their punk outfits, and Uta there as well. This is like how the song should be. Yeah. Is her with all of the straw hats. It's like I also want to recommend everybody watch the music videos. Because they essentially put out music videos for everything except for Bink Sake, and to me it gave me more of a headcanon for what is going on inside of Uta and the story that she's trying to tell that's happening inside her with Tot Musica and all of that stuff. And it gave me a theory that I want to talk about before the end of the episode. Okay. But highly recommend everybody go listen to those.
I specifically didn't listen to any of the music or watch any of the music videos before I went to go see the theater, because I just wanted to go in blind. Like I didn't want anything to influence what I was watching. And then I was like, spent like the rest of the night hunting down trying to chase the feeling I had in theaters, like listening to the music again. That being said, Kaden, what can you need to fully like explain the argument, because I don't even know what we're arguing about now.
Well, no, it's not that we're arguing. You were just like you mentioned like you mentioned the rap song, and you're just like, I liked it, but also I really liked it, but also, and I
liked it, but like I think I know what I was talking about. I liked the song, but the visuals for it in the movie were like so. And I listen, this is somebody coming from, I understand animation. I understand it's a lot. And I understand it like takes a lot, costs a lot. I understand. That is like the one part of the movie that's like, so it's like half so cool and half so lazy. Like that is the song where they have like full minute lengths of just like 3D Uta, like just doing like a like dance. And it's like, this is the coolest song. And they're fighting the Marines, and that's really cool. But like we aren't able to see it because there's just clearly no budget. So here's just like a free YouTube 3D model off YouTube dancing to some psychedelics, and it's like it's so upsetting.
See, Molly couldn't explain that a year ago when Molly saw the movie. So I'm just like, I put a pin in this because Molly told me to make a mention of it at some point when we got around to finally talking about it. But all I know is Molly had an issue with that. I don't know in what way or why. Molly's just like, I'll explain it later.
It's the animation. It's the animation.
So there you go.
It made me so sad. Like, there was somebody else in my theater who was like, they just gonna keep showing this, and then it finally cut to seeing like the Marines fighting, and it was epic. But it was like, it went on for so long. We were all looking at each other in the theater, like it was like it was like the one moment that took me out of the experience. Like it took me out of like the story, because it was just like, all right, yeah, we get it. She's dancing. Okay. Aren't there people fighting around her? And it like cuts finally, and it's
she's a Vocaloid.
See, I told you. See, I remembered. See, I told you I always remember.
Unless you don't. But one of the things that doesn't help your argument, Molly, is also one of my favorite pieces of promotion that they did was they shot a a quote Uta performance in a baseball stadium in Japan, and it's a full 3D model of her doing the same exact choreography,
fine.
and it's super hype because it's also a celebration of like all of like up to Gear 5 in the anime, so it's all in the manga, so it's got a bunch of like flashes of like important moments in One Piece history, and that coupled with New Genesis is a super cool moment.
I would like prefer that honestly to a psychedelic background. You know what I'm saying?
It was
like an actual set.
Was
they're
it
like,
done
how
like
do we visually show that she's on drugs? I know the only visual we've
Windows
ever
Media
had.
Visualizer.
Was this a live performance, like say Miku concert, or no?
Like straight up like Gorillaz level.
So they did do those.
So yes,
they have done those before, but this particular video, I'll also put that in Discord, is shot on digital, on a real set, on a real everything, but they put Uta's model on it with like no screen.
Okay.
So it looks like she's huge and there.
So there's things I wanna bring up, and I took notes in my channel on Discord for the first time in a while. I've been trying to do it less because then people, the Yayo crew, start getting inclinations about different things, and I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna give them hints about what I'm thinking. But for the movie, it's fine. Literally, they arrive at this island and the whole concert's happening and blah, 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 and all this stuff is happening. And then Luffy just jumps on stage and announces the plot of the movie, which was really freaking funny. It was so freaking funny. This was like, I wonder what the plot of this movie is. And then Luffy's just like, move aside, idiots. Here's the plot of the movie. I'm going to loudly announce it to everyone constantly. It's like, oh, well, that clears that up. And like, again, then quickly after that, it's like immediately, like, I think like 2 or 3 scenes after that, it's like, we need to make sure that this one thing doesn't happen. Anyway, the thing is going to happen because we say that the thing that shouldn't happen is probably going to happen because this movie's got a runtime of 1 hour and 58 minutes. Yeah. So it's got to happen. So it's like the movie is so upfront with, prepare for all of this. We're going to tell you right now because we don't want to waste any time because we have some music to get to. Please enjoy the music, which I feel like is the point of this film. Please enjoy the music.
I agree with that, Caden. I also had like a gripe about that in terms of like the progression of plot, and it's like literally as Caden just said about like, you know, we gotta get through the plot so we can get to these music videos. And it drives me crazy that like Luffy jumps on stage and is like, here's the plot of the movie. Oh my gosh, my long-term sister, haven't seen you in a minute. Good to see you. Hey, I'm gonna get out of here. Like, it's good to see you, but I'm gonna go. And it's like, Luffy wouldn't leave that fast.
One long Midwestern goodbye.
Luffy would have been like straight up like, let's eat, like, let's hang out, like, this is cool. Oh, are you doing a concert? Cool, then can I jump around while you sing? That'll be great. He goes straight up like, haha, good to see you. I'm gonna go. Like, and it's like, what are you talking about?
Also, like they're the sorry, Al, you first.
I mean, maybe he just feels awkward because of the history they have. It's like, you always beat me at this one thing, and I don't want to talk about that, so I'm going to go over here.
Luffy doesn't care about that, Alan. You know it.
He does care about being defeated.
Don't make excuses for them. He doesn't care about that. He literally, like, didn't even get to say goodbye to her. And, like, he just finds her, and then he's like, haha. Anyway, Sue, I'm gonna be.
He would have immediately recognized her from all of the things. Like, wow,
all the
she's
promotional
like,
material.
Literally,
the live streams.
Everybody is just like losing their mind for Uta. There's pictures and promos and artwork and all these different things, and she's been doing like televised concerts, and nobody showed it to Luffy. Luffy's just like, yeah, whatever, concert, cool, whatever. I don't really care, whatever.
Like,
nap time.
This reminds me of the thing in Film Gold where they don't tell him the real plan because he'll do something to mess it up. If they really want to go and see this show, they wouldn't tell him.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing is, no, I don't agree with that at all.
No, yeah, I'm agreeing with Molly here. How would they know that he knows Uta?
They don't, which is why they're like, we just
don't tell Luffy anything.
No,
anymore.
it's not that. It's we want to do something. Luffy wants to do something else. We won't tell Luffy.
No, here's the thing though, because if you tell Luffy, let's go to this the biggest idol in this world and party. There's no way Luffy wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah,
it's like,
absolutely.
It's like the best way to explain of like the only way to like divert him from continuing on the path to becoming the Pirate King is to say there is going to be food, beverage, and fun songs. And it's like a hard turn.
Yeah, and you don't have to say Uta's name with that.
They literally are wearing outfits
when they get there.
Uta. They didn't get dressed on the island. They got dressed before. So
we didn't see them arrive.
I'm gonna hit you with my keyboard again.
Hey, also,
how many keyboards do you have?
I have
enough to hit me every episode.
I have leftover Dell ones. They were gonna be used as e-waste.
My thing was more of like, how did they let one ship park dead center in the middle of this arena, and it's
they got
the
their
Straw Hat
first.
crew?
They got there first.
They found a good parking spot.
They camped overnight.
They're tailgating by themselves in the middle of the arena.
To be fair, they do have Jinbei at the helm now, so it's just like, oh no, we're getting there first. But we're like days behind. Jinbei's just like, we're getting there first.
He had them wake up at 5 a.m., drive there, park there, waited. Before they did sound check.
We finally have Dad on the crew. He's just like, we got to get up early. Everybody pack your snacks. I want the best parking spot. We're going to Disney World. I'm not parking in the bitch section of Disney World. We're parking right in the Mickey lot, right at the front.
Here's your orange slices.
Don't touch the thermostat.
Jinbei driving through the night so his children can get front row seats at the concert.
And him wearing his coolest threads of an Elvis costume.
I imagine at like 6 a.m, Frankie comes out to the helm with a cup of like 2 cups of coffee, one for him and one for Jinbei, and he's just like, kids, am I right? And it's like, you slept the whole night. Shut up, Frankie. But I appreciate the coffee.
Thanks for the coffee. Also, you're a jerk.
Yeah.
Speaking of costumes, hey, what was everybody's favorite outfit from the movie?
I like that you made a cameo. I like that you literally made a cameo in the movie, Mark.
Where was I?
You were literally, you were Brooke, right? You were actually just Brooke because you literally wore that to the last time we went to a theme park together. That was literally what you were wearing.
I didn't wear a hoodie, but essentially
That's literally exactly what you were wearing. Like, save for the hoodie, every single piece else about that outfit was something that Mark was wearing at the theme park we went to.
I would wear that.
See?
I would wear that whole thing. Absolutely.
It's so, like, literally, Oda knew. Oda was just like, I got to draw this for Mark.
At this point, it was like, oh, I got to do it.
I got to do it.
Got to give it to him.
It's Mark Core.
Brooke is Mark Core.
I love the Usopp's outfit of just wearing the Kiss armor. Just because.
Oh, it's awesome! Like,
music
that's so
enthusiast
fun.
Is what that
somebody didn't tell him the genre of music, and he was like, "I love concerts."
Hell yeah!
Usopp's trying to start a mosh pit, like at this Uta concert.
Everybody was like a certain genre of music, and Frankie was like, music, got it, and was a boombox.
Understood.
Yeah.
No, even more that he was just Soundwave.
I love
fires cassettes out of his chest.
I love his outfit purely for the 3 cable, yellow, white, and red. Like it's like so for our generation. But yeah, Nami and Robin's outfits I like the most out of this first batch. And obviously Jinbei. I mean, Jinbei is like baseline, right? Like everybody agrees. But like I love Nami and Robin's like rave outfits are really cute.
I love that like when we get to the island, like the first outfits we see for Robin and Jinbei are very just like they're more like old school stuff and everybody else is like newer stuff, but like Jinbei and Robin have this rockabilly kind of thing going on, and then like everybody else has newer versions of like musical outfits to go with like idols across the generations. So it's like, yeah, you're the 50s and 60s. These was the 70s and 80s. These are the 90s, and then here's Uta being the early 2000s, 2010s, and it's just like, yeah, this works. Like it.
Here's
Love it.
Uta getting ready to kill the radio star.
Both times he gets dressed in this movie, somebody is obviously dressing him.
Oh yeah.
Like, and for whatever reason, he made his V shirt into a deep V for some reason.
No, not for some reason. It's for a certain subset of people.
For?
His titties are so
Deep
big,
V.
he needed to make more room.
A little bit more space.
Need to make
Yeah.
more room.
He needed to make more room.
I dig the outfits. I dig the outfits here, but I really dig the outfits at the end of the film. Like the once again we're going to change what everybody looks like, and everybody's outfits completely change at the end. It reminds me of when everybody came in as mobsters. This is the metal pirate version of that, and it's
You gotta have a big costume change in the third act.
Also, like Luffy. Okay, early on, Luffy's wearing a red shirt with a with a broadcast quality microphone, wearing his hat on it.
That's his
And
podcast shirt.
It's literally like that's
One-man
something.
podcast.
I saw that. I'm just like, yeah, Molly would probably want that shirt.
Yeah, it's definitely a logo that I'm like, can we just steal that for ourselves? Like, can we just make that the Yayo Talk show?
We could,
Put Rudy in there somewhere.
If we change the microphone, we could change it to a Neumann, and then we can change the style of the hat ever so slightly, and then like give the microphone like a Rudy nose. And I think that would be fine. That's legally distinct enough.
Let's just steal it. I like how we say like the Rudy nose. We all know it's Buggy's nose that we're all
It's Rudy. Listen, we don't know. It's Rudy because we'll give it antlers too. Very important.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll give the nose antlers.
I love
Solved.
Jinbei's, Usopp's, and Frankie's secondary outfits later. I like Usopp has like this like kind of, I think it's like a froggy hat, like a froggy zipper hat or something. Love that for him. Jinbei's I love Jinbei's bare arms and ponytail. Good for him. And then Frankie always knows the assignment. It's fine. He looks great.
Barto is back. Most importantly, Barto's here, and Barto is great and amazing. I was
gonna say Barto's festival outfit is like fits his super fan aesthetic
it's
of like
perfect.
I am also an Uta super fan, and so I dressed like you see people dressed like him at Vocaloid shows.
Absolutely. Like it's the perfect thing of just like, this is stuff that I would normally wear, but I've gussied it up a bit for this.
It
and
got gussied.
like funnily enough, it looks like
Barto's
looks like
Gussie.
it looks like he has when he's carrying Luffy and Luffy is like a cardboard cutout.
Like a board. Oh, so good.
The funniest part of that is if you look at, it's like totally not canon in any way, shape, or form. But if you look at him, he's got the Pan flag on his shirt. It's like, yeah, that sounds right. That sounds right for Barto. Head canon accepted. But like Kobe and Helmeppo are here, and they're just like, we're on a secret mission, and like, what is it? Who's the other group that's there with them?
CP0?
No, CP0 is secretly there, but it's the other guys.
Secretly.
It's the other guys who are there.
The other guys are there.
To be more specific, because this movie
Will
is
Ferrell.
stupid with people.
It's
Mark Wahlberg are here.
Yeah.
Cypherpole is here.
Yeah,
That's
CP0.
CP0.
Well, it's different. Like, there's
CP is Cypherpole.
Yes, but Cypherpole specifically, and not necessarily just CP0 is here.
What?
Well, yeah, because like some of CP0 or
No, the command structure's not there. It's just the agents we know of. Which makes
it's like it's complicated. Literally, Cypherpole is so confusing. Like, as far as I'm concerned, the only real, like, CP0 people are Rob Lucci and the people Rob Lucci are going around with currently.
And that
who is
digit.
not on the island, but is in the movie, and I hate him.
It's like the amount of appearances in this movie is very on par with Stampede, but it's like, it kind of makes sense why they're there, but also
it feels
like,
a little more shoehorned here.
It does a little
it's like,
bit.
how do we get everyone's favorites in this movie so we know they'll come to the theater? Okay, release the art for CP0, even though they're only in the movie for like 2 seconds. Put the Thousand Sunny mascot in there. Who else do we need?
Sunny was so cute.
Barto and Law.
Sunny was okay. So like, let's get to that then. Let's get to that real quick.
Really quickly, I think we all agree Beppo had the best fit.
Beppo,
Anyway,
Beppo,
moving on.
Okay.
Beppo came prepared.
Really
It came with a soundtrack.
Sumimasen. So basically, yada yada, the plot happens, which is Uta.
Did you just yada yada the plot away?
I did.
So did the movie.
I mean,
Uta doesn't like pirates anymore because of something that happened that didn't actually happen.
Yeah.
Which is negligible at best. So she's trying to create basically a utopia, which is a utopia in this dream world, and the dream world is going to be inside of her thing. But she's been eating these mushrooms that keep her awake the entire time, so that when she inevitably dies, everybody's going to be trapped there. That's the whole point. The whole point is to trap everybody in a utopia inside of a dream, and then their bodies and souls are separated, and she's going to die about it.
She's turning her brain into a Pokeball to capture everyone.
This is like literally the equivalent of like be careful what you wish for when that like the cow farmers are like, hey, this is fun, but I gotta go home to my cows. And it's like, I thought you said you wanted to be saved, so suck it up. Your cows are here in spirit.
So everybody's just like,
music?
yay! Everybody's like, yay! We don't have to worry about anything. Free food, free candy, free everything. No work, blah blah blah. It's like, but I like going to school. And then Uta's just like, you're a liar. Everybody trapped in my dreams. Bam. And then just like...
Everybody was immediately like, but we like free will. And she's like, well, that's the cost, so...
Well,
her
you should have
plan
read...
was to keep this up for like years, and it only lasted a few minutes of the concert.
You guys should have just read the fine print on that.
Ain't that just the way?
But Straw Hats get captured, they run away, they find out that Uta has a second adoptive dad who looks like Frankenstein.
Oh, God.
And his name is Gordon. And Gordon gives the backstory of like all the stuff that happens on this island where there used to be a bunch of people, but now they all died. We're not going to get into that just yet, but eventually we will.
Speaking of people that they're just like, we have to put them in this movie. Why? I don't know. And also like they're nobody's favorites. Freaking an oven is there.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Oh, I have a question. Once Caden is yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey everybody. He said in a natural transition.
Yeah.
What character do you feel was the most shunted into this movie
Oven.
by the plot?
Oven.
Why did we
in
the oven when oven didn't belong here?
And
Of out
Why
the
are they
food.
even
Food hot.
Of out the food hot.
They literally brought them in for a plot hole later in the movie. And
Yes.
it's like, but they didn't need oven. It could have just been her.
I mean, also it could have. We didn't.
It
need that.
also could have been a better script.
Also, we could have just used the surprisingly Usopp can do this with Yasop now. Shut up!
we're
Don't
not
ask
there
that.
yet.
That was for
We're not
that
there
moment.
Yeah,
That's-
but like it's the same thing.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's the
we
same.
can't talk about this right now because
Yeah.
that'll be the rest of the podcast.
So-
So we gotta see that to the end because I also have thoughts on that.
So I wanna bring up the fact that Kobe and
Well,
Helmeppo-
hold on. Not
No.
everybody answered my question.
No, it was oven.
Al.
I mean, I'm kind of just mad at Gordon in general for
Existing.
It could have had one conversation, and this whole thing could have been avoided.
Yeah.
So
Difficult
Gordon
emotions.
was the most shunted into the story by the plot.
He's most important there, but his decision was most shunted to
Let's
not talk
be
about.
very clear here. Uta is fully aware that that didn't happen. She says it
Yeah.
in the movie where
She
she's
literally
like, "No, I
knows."
knew,"
I
and
mean-
it's like,
Okay, so what is the difference between you knowing it happening and being lied to, and then someone over the course of your lifetime?
Oh, it didn't change
telling
her
you the
mind at all.
story?
It didn't change her mind at all. She just knew that. Well, at the time, I was a pirate and I did a pirate bad thing, so we got to know more pirates.
she's like, "I saw my 40 gay dads murder countless people."
Literally, well,
Part of the job.
she's just like, well, I was a pirate and I did a bad thing. I found out the truth about all of it, but also they abandoned me. My
Her-
40 gay dads.
When her 40 gay dads abandoned her, she could not. Her heart could not open to another father.
When they
And
found out
Gordo-
that she was heterosexual, they just left her on the island.
no,
Sorry.
my gosh.
You have to be at least this queer to ride the boat.
Give her time, man. She's so little. There's no way she's sexually awakened yet, dude. Let her figure her stuff out.
But like, so when we meet Gordon, there was something I made a note of. Is like Gordon's just like, oh yeah, I would often hear her sing about all these different things, and like, so we hear her doing we hear a flashback. We see several flashbacks of Uta singing, and it's adult Uta singing for some reason, and I kind of wish they got like a kid
have a
voice.
theory.
Shut up! I'm talking. But this is going somewhere. Okay, this is going somewhere. Like, it felt weird that she was like her adult voice was singing these songs in these flashbacks. Whatever. However, Gordon is explaining that these things happen, and then she goes off into songs. Like, I would hear her singing, and then she goes off into song in the flashback. My brain immediately went to, she would sing about her missing her friends. And it went like this. And then he would sing the song, but trying to sound like her. And it's just like, I wanted to see that scene. I would have wanted to see that scene instead, with Beppo and Law and Barto and Luffy just very not caring about every single thing about what's happening in front of them. And then it was just like, and I was making these jokes, and then it flashed back, and literally, like, Gordon's just like, are you even listening to me? And everybody's like, no, not really. And then Beppo's just like, I kind of was. And then Beppo's little back sign explodes out of his back and starts playing little music. It's like, Sumimasen.
It's a very Oda thing.
They literally had to bubble up Luffy so that he was forced to listen to the plot.
Yep.
So he couldn't walk away.
But I liked that every time I was making fun of the movie for one thing or another, the movie then made fun of itself. I'm just like, okay, so you know, you understand what's happening, and you do know what's happening. So like, all right, if we're all making jokes and having fun together. Okay, fine, that's great.
For a lot of the stuff I didn't like about this movie, there was a lot of stuff that like I didn't know I wanted and or needed, and the fleeting lullaby scene with. Like when we like cut to like the real world, and it's like raining and it's like miserable, and Uta's just like popping shrooms, and the freaking Marines land. The Marines land on shore, and they're like, "Hey, girl, quit it." And she's like, "Oh, you're like a big bad Marine, huh?" And she's just eating a mushroom and like giving him a thumbs up,
like what's up?
Don't worry, I got this. I'm doing your job for you.
Yeah, it was just like,
you got any more shrooms, my guy?
I didn't know I needed this interaction. That's pretty funny. And yeah, I love this scene. Like, it's like, again, they didn't have a lot of money, or like it's like they had to just get through it. I get it. I understand. But the scenes that like we did get in this part are so epic, of just seeing the Marines fighting, like, and I don't like them, but like they put their whole bussy in these scenes, whoever animated them.
Yeah.
Buzzy.
And like it.
No.
Al, go to jail. Al, you're in jail now.
Sorry.
You're in jail. Go sit in the corner.
Molly and I are spicy today.
We are. It's mostly because I've only had one cup of coffee, and you guys made me wake up so early.
We
made you.
I'm sorry, Molly.
I did it because I love you, so it's fine.
I love you too, Molly.
The Marine strategy.
Al, stay in the corner.
Okay.
You're not done yet with your sentence.
The Marine strategy of shooting through the asleep innocents was like, you would pull some horse piss like this.
Okay, so literally, I did a whole So before we get to that real quick, I want to say that Barto, Luffy, and Law that finally made me like Law, because it was like they were a Three Stooges bit the entire time they were interacting together. I loved that. I thought it was fantastic, super amazing, perfect, whatever. But exactly what you're saying. Literally, they lead up to it. With Kobe and Helmeppo, they're just like, well, who's going to attack? So the plan is Top Musica is going to be summoned. It's a giant evil king. And once Top Musica is summoned, they can break out, blah, 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 blah. But they need to attack both in the dream world and in real life. So who's going to attack in real life? Helmeppo asks. It's like, because all we have is the Navy or Cypher Pole, and then Kobe, big brain Magoo over here, is like, no, they won't make a move with civilian lives at stake. Literally 2 seconds later, that's right, deploy every last asset of the Navy to eliminate Uta. Doesn't matter if the audience goes with her. and then they open fire on the audience. Kobe, I'm gonna beat you with my keyboard.
Like,
I don't understand how at any point Kobe has not gone, are we the bad guys?
Literally.
he just needs new glasses, I guess. Maybe he just missees everything.
God.
Freaking Garp keeps him in a jar.
Glasses.
He's wearing rose-tinted glasses.
Oh, right.
Literally, Garp just keeps him in a jar and seals him up until it's just like, the plot needs
Which
you for
is
5 minutes.
Insane to me, because there's no way out of everyone who out of everybody in the Marines who's gonna call them on their crap, it's not Garp. You know Garp's immediately like, that's stupid. Like, that doesn't make any sense. These
Yeah,
guys are the
and
bad
literally
guys.
they were both Garp trained. It's like, literally, how are you so stupid? Literally, the only smart person in all of the Marines trained you, and you're the dumbest people here.
This is why
Hate
I
you.
like the live action, and I am going to keep making arguments for Kane to watch it until we force you to watch it and we talk about it on an episode. But like, literally, Garp in the show like teaches Helmeppo and Kobe to think for themselves, and that's pretty epic.
Great, I'm glad that they think for
epic.
themselves. It's unfortunate that they're stupid as
lesson.
bricks.
Yeah.
Ah! So
bricks
mad.
people.
I'm so mad. Literally, like, okay. It has been so long that these two have
it's
been,
been.
and then it gets worse. It's like, well, isn't this funny? And then of course it's freaking Ben Beckman who's on the opposite side of this conversation because of
Tee-hee.
course it would be painful for me specifically. Freaking Kizaron's just like,
So
isn't it
smart.
funny? The Navy's gonna kill civilians and the pirates are protecting them. Why protect them at all? And Ben Beckman's just like, me and the other 39 gay dads are here because we love our daughter, you jerk, and
Ben
also
Beckman-
stop killing innocent people.
Ben Beckman looked him in his eye and like basically was like, hey, I know we're pirates, I know you're a Marine, but at least we have a freaking conscience, dude. Like, what the heck? Like, what do you mean? It's that literally, it's like, yes, I'm the evil villain and I will destroy the world.
Ben
And it's
Beckman
like,
looked at this dude and said, take you and your lightsaber cock and get the frick off my island.
It's literally the like the plot of like, I'm going to destroy the world. And it's like, hey, other villain, like, why are you attacking the villain? It's like, I live here. I want to live.
I would like to continue living on the world.
It's like, why are you questioning people saving other people? It's just, it's like, it's a very human thing to do. Like, what do you want from me?
Maybe ruling the
Idiot.
world is great when the world still exists, moron.
Yeah,
God.
that always takes me out of it, where I'm like, it's not unrealistic to want to continue living in the world that we have. Like,
I specifically
shut up.
I specifically made a post about this yesterday as I was watching it because I wanted to like kind of make a point to like have it exist out there before that thought went away. And it's like, One Piece is the most realistic anime of all time because the government of the world brags about murdering people constantly and then is never held accountable.
Yeah.
That's literally the real plot of this movie is the government is going to kill you, the end.
Yeah.
And they're just like, well, we got to kill this idol who's trying to make things a better place and a desperate move because literally there's kind of no other option for her. And it's like, maybe I have sympathy for her and maybe you just opened fire on a bunch of civilians, government.
It's
And
not
it's
even
so frustrating.
like killing you. It's like killing you and controlling every aspect of your life.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, yeah. 100%.
Like, we're going to control every aspect of your life and kill you. Wait, you mean or, right? It's like,
Sometimes
no,
both.
we're going to do both. One way or another, we're going to kill you. We will
And
kill you.
redefine how you died.
And we'll blame the pirates.
I'm
we'll blame
sure
the
to
pirates
them,
for it.
I mean, well, not even that, but I'm sure to them, like, they are quote unquote traitors. Like, there's no way that they weren't monitoring all of those live feeds where, like, the cow farmers are like, save us, Uta. Like, Uta, you're the only one. Like, the government doesn't care about us, blah, blah, blah. Like, there's no way that they weren't being monitored that whole time. So they could just spin it around and be like, yeah, they were traitors. Like,
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Everybody was watching the feed, like the 5 Elder Stars were watching
Yeah.
because we needed more cameos.
What was the number, the percentage they said of people that were currently watching the live stream? Like 70%?
Wasn't it 75? So it was like 75%
Of the world?
Of the
Well,
world,
it
yeah.
was like everyone, and then weren't they like forcing they couldn't turn the live stream off? Like it was very like Marineford style, where it was like it was getting played in places they didn't want to be played, even though people were like, yeah, turn it up.
pirate broadcast.
The government wasn't able to turn it off, is what I'm trying to say. So it was like, yeah.
So everyone's liable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Kill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, again, like, there's so much of this that's just like, well, I can't believe Uta's doing this. I can't believe Uta's doing this. It's like, the Marines just opened fired on innocent people. Let's just acknowledge that for a minute. And then let's, like, take Kobe's face and, like a puppy who just pooped on the ground, smear his face in it. Like, no. Bad Kobe. Bad. No. Don't.
To be fair to Kobe in this moment, they were doing it when he wasn't like there to witness it.
It's been
apparently
years.
that
How
happens
is he so
a lot,
stupid?
Molly.
and Kobe's body was fighting the Marines.
Yeah. So he was
Whether
doing the right
liked it or
thing.
not. Yeah, when you think about it, I'll give him.
Stupid.
I'll give him.
Unconsciously save them.
I'll give him one nugget. I'll give him one nugget
No.
of credit, and that's it.
He was raised by Garp. No. He knows better.
I mean, look at Luffy.
It was the best person ever. The nicest, sweetest person ever. Kobe is unforgivable. Disappointed.
Thank God the movie's not canon.
I'm so disappointed. So disappointed.
Well, I actually, we've talked about it since Oda started, like, having some sort of creative input in the movies. There has been something in there that he has been trying to show us, or some theme, something in the overall story that, while this particular movie might not be canon, this idea is canon in the world of One Piece. Does anybody have any thoughts of what that might be for this one?
The government is bad.
The live stream.
Is this a quiz? Is a quiz show starting?
Now that we see that Twitch is feasible in this,
Well,
in
Buggy
this world,
Buggy got famous on Twitch.
Yeah, Buggy did get famous on Twitch. He invented Twitch. Technically,
Buggy
he
invented
invented Twitch. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
He
But
was
now we know-
he was technically the first reaction Twitch caster
No.
in
Mr.
One
Bug.
Piece. Can you believe this?
Buggy.
I did
Buggy reacts a new video every week. Buggy reacts to new bounty hunter images. It's like, look at this freak.
Yeah.
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 Okay. But your real question. Oda's trying to tell us something.
He's trying to tell us something. I know it.
I feel like it was setting up plot for the manga in terms of like what's Shanks's deal, like
Yeah,
and
probably.
like what they've been up to. Like it feels like because it was like again like they threw that line out there of like his bloodline. And I took that home with me, and I was like, what does that even mean? And I had to wait for Mark to watch the movie to be like, did you catch that? And they never explain it. And I was like, that's weird. And then, like, months later, I found the panel, and I was like, what the heck? What the heck?
What the heck?
Yeah.
Nani
But it was
desu
like,
ka?
I walked out of that movie with a theory that happened, and then it did get confirmed. And I'm like, there's no way that they didn't, like, accidentally steal garbage and then found Buggy as an infant as well.
Oh,
I love it.
I cannot
Treasure
wait.
chest and a garbage can.
I cannot wait until the next port predictions. There's
I
been a sentence
love-
in my brain that I have been stewing
Yeah.
on for like a month, 2 months.
I might
I
know what
love
it
that
is.
Molly's just like Shanks was obviously found in a treasure chest. Buggy was obviously found in
the
like,
trash?
in
I've-
garbage,
I've-
in sea garbage.
I've talked to Mark about this, and there's no way he isn't for the joke of that he's always failing upwards. They're like, just put the baby in the trash. And he's like, no one will find him. And
It's
it's
one
like,
of those,
the
like-
Pirate King. The
Oh, there's a
Pirate King finds
Much
him in the trash.
much better thing.
I know.
That
I
is
know.
the dumbest.
I know.
It's one of those fairgrounds, like, circus clown trash cans.
Roger's rooting around for like leftover cotton candy, and he finds a baby instead.
And he grabs the nose. So here's where I put on my tinfoil hat and bring up my red thread.
Yay!
My theory is, one, the reason why Uta sounds the same as a kid as she does now is because it is a combination of her voice and the voice of the Uta no Mi. That it's the fruit that provides that voice, and since she ate it at a young age, that has been her voice since then.
Can I stop for a second? I just had I had a Jimmy Neutron brain blast for a second.
Go blast your brain?
Okay, cool. She's Jigglypuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
it. She's just Jigglypuff.
Yes.
She's literally
Yes.
just Jigglypuff because when she sings, everybody falls asleep. That's it.
Yes.
They added the psychedelic dream world into it, but yeah.
I mean, there are literally like, I think in the anime they did it, but like she'd always get pissed off when they'd fall asleep too, and I think she did draw on Luffy's face.
when they were kids, like, or when she was a kid on Dawn Island, they all fell asleep.
Yeah.
But with that, and with the idea of Tot Musica, I think the thing that Oda is trying to tell us is that demons are real because we flippin' see one, and the world government, 5 Elder Stars all the way up, knows this, and that the fact that demons are real is why they call devil fruits to cover up, and to cover up for what they really are, and point at the demons and go, see, that's what's possible when people are terrible.
As somebody who's been watching a lot of the Warrens, you know, like the demonologists or whatever from the 70s documentaries this week, that is so funny to me. Where they're like, the Warrens try to tell us, but the government shut them out. The church didn't want people to know about the demons, and then yeah. Yeah. But also, as somebody who's a surviving Catholic, I don't want religion in my One Piece. I don't
they use demons and devils in different ways.
I don't want to talk about angels and devils in One Piece. I do like the devil fruit, but I don't want to think about angels and devils.
Well,
I've got Luffy.
Yeah.
I've got bad news for you, Molly. We're already deep in that.
I know.
Yeah, we are.
But I don't wanna.
But with that in mind, I feel like the Tot Musica always has some sort of control over whoever eats the song fruit. And Uta's choices are not always Uta's choices.
Well, they kind of confirm that that's not the case in the movie. Like, it only comes across once she starts singing, and then the thing happens. Like, it's just like, oh crap, you're on this island and you're singing so good. Cool. Here, sing this real quick. And like the paper goes in front of her. So like she's been fine the entire time until.
To me shows me that the piece of music finding its way to her tells me that there is some sort of control, some sort of will.
I mean, well, the demons and the devil's in the details. It's in the paperwork.
Exactly.
My dude. The demons in the paperwork. The paper heard it. It's like, the paper's got ears, man.
It's also like, only her could do that. Like nobody else's devil fruit power would be able to. Like she had the specific thing that it needed to do what it wanted. I guess
there were like hieroglyphics in the basement too. So like maybe this is like a product of that 800 Void era, or like even before that.
It's
like
true.
I wonder if it's like, you know, if it's some kind of like remember that thing that we keep alluding to and don't talk about?
And if the fruit has a will of its own, if it is an actual demon or devil, then it's been there the whole time.
I do like the implication.
So what are they, like cousins?
Yeah. Well, it's like, I do like the implication because we don't know enough about devil fruit. We still don't know enough about devil fruit. That I like the idea that like some of them somehow have gotten captured and turned into fruit, but there are other entities out there that have not, and this is just one of those entities that got captured in a different way.
Like in terms of the human fruit model, whatever.
Well, it's like in terms of like, I just like, okay, so let's just say demons are real for a second in this universe.
Thank you.
Demons were real, like, you know, close to 1,000 years ago. They came in and they captured all these demons like Pokemon, but like turned them into fruit somehow. And like, let's say that like not everybody got turned into fruit though. Let's say like somebody enclosed it into a piece of music, and you know what I mean? Because we have seen instances of this before. Technically, there is a movie where Zoro gets a sword that's cursed.
The cursed sword.
Yeah. So there is a history of items being cursed in some way by quote unquote a demon or whatever in this universe. But it's like we've only just seen it's, you know, we only see it every once in a while. But it's like I think that's interesting. I'm not sure if I like it, but I think it's interesting.
And I think it's a concept. I just think it's Oda introducing a concept that he will go into more in the future.
Yeah. But yeah, it felt like this movie in general, Uda was just used to plot, to have an excuse to have Shanks to show up so that they could allude to Shanks stuff. Because it's like, listen, baby, we're getting towards the ends of One Piece, all right? We gotta, like, start rapping on some stuff here. And I think that they are, like, trying to be like, hey, remember this guy? This guy that it feels like we were only going to see him at our destination, not on the way. We're going to see him at the destination. He's around. He's still hanging out. He's around.
Just turning a hard stare into a superpower is
especially like seeing him at the end of Wano as well. It just feels like in that bombshell he dropped on us. You know what I mean? It's like I feel like this was all just set up to then be like, hey, remember this guy? Do you remember this guy? Remember
the implications of this guy?
Hey, what if we said this guy was a bad dad? What if we said he was a bad dad? And then you find out he's not a bad dad.
I'm going to back up Molly on something. This movie feels like spectacle. Spectacle with a little bit, like it's all spectacle with like one or two nuggets of, if you didn't pay attention to that, then tee-hee, we're gonna address something cool in the manga later, and that's your fault for you missing it in the movie, whatever, because it was like, it's like cereal. This movie is like cereal. The nutritional value isn't there, but there is a little bit. But man, these sugar cocoa bombs are amazing. I'm gonna eat the hell out of these.
Wait, why'd you back me up?
I'm backing you up because the whole point of all of that is ultimately the whole point of that, the movie being that in and of itself, is culminated in the fact that Gear 5 exists for like 0.0003 seconds. And it's like, what was the purpose of that? Gotcha. Like, why did you even do that? You didn't even animate it like it's just like, oh, Luffy's doing a punch, and now Luffy's Gear 5, and now Luffy's Gear 5, and now Luffy's back. It's like, what? What you can't just what? You can't do that?
That was pure hype.
Yeah.
You first, Molly.
I like greatly enjoyed this movie, but it felt like there were so many parameters to actual One Piece. Like there was so much information that we needed to get for the manga and the anime out of this movie. It like takes you out of like what we normally like about One Piece movies, where they're like kind of standalone pieces. Like I enjoyed Stampede, but adding the element of like eternal pose to Laugh Tale really took me out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though we knew they weren't gonna get it, it's like I hate when they add that. Like in like the My Hero Academia movie where they're like, I'm going to give Bakugo my power, and now I won't have power because I gave it to you, and it being like that changes everything in the manga, and then at the very end being like, oh, it didn't. You used up all your power before it could stick.
All for a good hype moment though.
Yeah. But it's like, and it's like, But I feel
get
like
hype!
because
Someone died!
I feel like because there were so many parameters on this movie, because they were trying to give us so much extra context to everything, I had like I still greatly enjoyed it, mostly because of the music, but like, and I think I like ranked it for Mark when I came out of the theater, and it was up there with like some of my favorite One Piece movies, but it wasn't like my new favorite One Piece movie. Like it was better than ones that we had watched, but it wasn't better than the god tier Baron on Matsuri. Like nothing's ever gonna beat it.
I did love the designs in this movie though.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, no.
There's a lot of pieces. There's a lot of great pieces and a lot of great moments, and there was too much for them to cover in the runtime that they did, to the point where I would be like, just take some out.
Just take Oven out. We don't need Oven.
Just Oven.
Of out the food.
Of out the food.
He's so big. It's taking up too much screen time.
I mean, also the fact, like, when Uch is like, all right, if you're going to be pirates, I'm going to make you look like them. And it's like, oh, cool, we have new designs for our straw hats. But then also Oven gets all of the Charlottes get a redesign.
Yeah.
Bart, I will say, Barto's redesign is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it's just like, it doesn't matter.
As well? Yeah, didn't Kobe?
Everybody did.
Yeah.
Everybody got cool new outfits. Most of them didn't deserve them, but the ones that did got really cool ones.
That being said, I gotta get into this. My number one gripe about this movie, which is just like, it takes away for in the future, right? That's what I really got upset about. Like that, it's just like some throwaway thing to make it sense to the movie and try to like add some level of emotion that absolutely throws away the reunion we'll get eventually at some point. But Yasop and Usopp having this connection and doing the like, we need to somehow connect the real world and the dream world and do our coordinated attacks together made me so sad. Because it's like such a throwaway thing that like Usopp deserves a real reunion. Usopp deserves a real reunion with his dad.
Yeah.
And this scene sucked so hard. Like Usopp did not deserve that. Like it's like Usopp getting a call and his dad being like, "Yeah, buddy, yeah, I'm totally gonna take you to the ballpark on your birthday." And Usopp spends all day sitting on the curb waiting for his dad, who never shows up.
They just
like,
yeah,
they play Call of Duty muted. It's what they end up doing.
It's like I hate it, and I saw people talking about it online like it was a good thing. They're like, "Yeah, Usopp finally got to talk to his dad." It's like, no, like he deserves.
They also didn't talk. It's Yasop being just like, "Oh, good, you little bitch. You stopped being a little bitch about it. Cool.
I
now
feel my son in the Force.
Now follow my directions that I'm gonna tell you to do." It's like,
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Yeah,
Anyway, I hope your mom's doing great. She's dead. Well, whatever.
I really,
Gotta
it
hit
really
the
like
old dusty trail.
Time to
it, like,
leave.
really.
Anyway,
bummed
time
me
to take care
out.
of my daughter. Bye.
It really bummed me out because it's just like I know we're gonna get it. Like I know we're gonna get to a point where like the Straw Hats meet, you know, the Red Hair Pirates, and like I want that for him, even if it's just to tell his dad like fuck off. You know what I mean? Like he deserves to decide when it's his time to see his dad again. And I hate that they put that in the movie and try to dress it up like a good thing. And it's just like no,
It's a
no.
little frustrating. It's a little frustrating.
And then I'm like, you've ruined the impact for later. Like, I don't like it. I don't
Anyway,
like
Top Musica was a great song though.
it was great. It was
And,
great.
The full-fledged monster was basically straight out of Soul Eater.
Oh, it was
Seriously.
really cool. Really
Yeah,
And
honestly.
it had a great otherworldly vibe to it.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just like a giant from One Piece. You know, we've seen a lot of weird stuff, but that's possibly the weirdest and most direct thing
Yeah.
It
in
had,
terms
like,
of design.
Gecko Moria vibes, so that makes sense. Yeah.
It rose out of the bones of itself, I guess, and
Teehee.
exists in multiple planes of reality at the same time, which is why they had to do the Usopp Yasop thing.
Yeah.
And
It was cool to see the Red Hair Pirates fight for the
Yeah.
first time.
Yeah.
It was cool.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, like that's the thing. It's like the moments are cool, and this part of this being here is awesome, but this other part, like Oven being there so that Katakuri can come and be on the other side of reality.
Ugh,
like that's the only reason. When it's like, no, we could have another reason.
We could have just had Brûlé there.
Yeah, and then that would have been enough.
It would have been fine. Why was Oven there? Of him out of the movie.
No one liked Oven when you
likes
introduced
music,
Oven.
probably.
Why'd you put him in the movie?
Katakuri is great. Also, Katakuri just showing up at the end is like, hey, so my sister's here.
I did like that Shanks was like,
yeah,
"Oh, I
I
know you,"
just
and it's
gotta
like,
go.
"Why do you guys know each other?"
Maybe they didn't
like-
want to do another chaperone.
I'm just here for my sister, but like also I can feel my sister in there, and she's just like, hey, what's up?
would've
Yeah,
So,
Kata-
whatever.
Katakuri showing up, I was also like, and then this guy's here?
Had they had him be a chaperone, it would have been really funny to have all the chaperones like sipping punch on the side.
Yeah,
talking.
standing-
I
standing
loved
off to
how
the side.
whatever Katakuri was though, because Katakuri just kind of showed up as like, yeah,
I'm
hey,
here as well.
What and
Hey.
and I'm here too.
I'm here to pick up my sibling because I'm the only one that has a driver's license.
Mom sent me over.
Gave me the keys to the van.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
We're gonna get McDonald's on the way home.
Can you
Where
please
am I-
not kill my younger siblings so that I can just take them
Mom's
back?
gonna be so mad.
She'd be really mad at me. She's gonna be so cross. And Shanks, you know what happens when she's like that. And Shanks is like, dude, why are you here?
They're like literally clogging up the like after school pickup line, and they're like, "Where are our kids?" And they're like, "Ah,
Your kids are in a dream world and they might be dying.
oops,
Oops. Oops.
Why
The
does that
American
sound
public
like-
school
I
system.
was just-
Yeah.
It sounds like the plot of like a '90s movie, honestly.
This movie is like the plot is held together by like tape and sticks.
And music videos.
And the real thing is, like, there's the spectacle of it all. The animation is wild. The vocal performances are incredible. The music is amazing. And ultimately, it was a fun ride. But, like, definitely not the best One Piece movie, but it's a fun one. It's okay. It's pretty good. I liked it.
Also, so much thought was put into everything. There's, like, for parts where Uta is defending herself, she, like, throws up a coda to block an attack.
Yeah.
And a coda in music is wait, is literally all that means. And she just tells the attack to wait. It's like, that's awesome.
It's like, very good. It's very good. Like, there's other parts of this movie that are pretty neat. Like, everybody's, trapped on musical sheets and they have to sing the notes where their heads are to free themselves. Really cool. Uta's What the Funk ship that exists, that is just like an amalgamate. It looks like something from Paprika, which just is like, oh, this is awesome.
The Nightmare Orchestra Parade.
The Nightmare Orchestra Parade. The utilization of 2D, 3D, and then like those
the
painted...
utilization?
Shut up. And the painted backdrops. It just looks great. Everything's phenomenal. Like, visually and like audio is all amazing, but like it's 2 hours of candy. Like, I'd say it's a popcorn movie, but you'd want to sing along with it, so don't eat the popcorn during the song parts, otherwise you'll choke.
And especially in post-COVID, you'll just like spit gross popcorn all over everybody in the rest of the theater.
Be mad at you.
One of my favorite tidbits about this movie is the return of Lisa Ortiz in the dub. Lisa Ortiz was the voice of Chopper in the 4Kids dub. And they brought her back to voice Sunny.
Sunny is very cute.
And that's really cute. I think, and Molly, you wanted to talk about, speaking of the music, specifically the New Genesis We Are mashup during the big final punch.
I did?
Yeah?
Yeah.
When?
You did.
Saturday, when we were recording.
You said that.
You were talking about how anytime they figure out... I talk about anytime they figure out a way to use We Are in stuff, and you're like, oh, that reminds me of something we're going to talk about later.
Molly
Thanks
so much for joining us for this episode of the Iron Town Show, everybody.
I literally have... I mean, I remember talking about We Are, but I don't remember what I was thinking of. It was not this, I'll tell you that. And I don't remember what I was thinking
Molly's
of.
Molly's going to remember later and record.
There's one other thing that it could be, and it has to be that. But before we wrap up, were there any sort of like final words, final thoughts about Red before we sign off?
40 gay dads.
Yeah, it's the movie is Uta and her 40 gay dads and the music videos that happen in between.
Ben Beckman.
Do yourself a favor. Listen to Amelie's English versions. They're also very good. They're worth listening to. I really do recommend it. That's it. Fun movie. You can watch it. It's good.
Al?
Yeah, it's good. I mean,
it's good, not great. Good. It's literally good.
If you like animation and you like just like studying animation, this is something you should watch. Just because of all the different techniques and mixed media nonsense they're doing shot to shot. It's
last thought, actually, as you say that, Al, I do wonder if this was like them experimenting for what just happened in the anime, because they are using like 3D models, they're using like 2D stuff, like not to the extent of like the anime, but
they're using 3D cameras with 2D assets and 3D assets at the same time, and figuring out, like, for the shots they did of the city, they had to have had like a 3D model of the whole thing to like have all those different.
Those swooping shots rocked.
Yeah.
Anyway,
great crane shots for animation.
Hell yeah, love that. Do you remember when we talked about that? Remember when we talked about that with the really cool shot in the movie with the little short with the dog? Yeah, but cooler.
But also the big hole bar had
that big hole.
Big hole bar did have a shot like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
do yourself a favor and watch One Piece Film Red. If you're at the end and you haven't watched it, what are you doing?
You did it backwards again. Come on, guys. We talked about this.
Oh. Yeah. Hey. Yeah.
Hey.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey.
Yo!
Before we go, everybody put yourself over. Starting with Kaden.
You can find me pretty much anywhere. Caden Jensen, KDINJENZEN. Mostly I'm on Twitch and Tumblr, but I'm talking more on Blue Sky now too. You can also find me on TikTok, but I don't really post there. But it's REAL, real Caden Jensen. Very important.
Real.
How about you, yeah, Al?
You can find me at Al McClellan Jr. basically everywhere, and now including Tumblr. That's ALMCCLELLANDJR. Good luck.
GR.
I'm going to start a parody account that's Al McClellan GR.
Quickly,
But it's just going to repost all of your stuff.
You better do it. You better do it
Quickly
before this episode goes up.
Yeah.
I got a month.
Oh no.
I gotta go.
I gotta go.
We gotta move.
You can follow me everywhere at Mark B. Donica. How about you, Cap?
You can find me on Blue Sky, Molly Flood. You can find me on Tumblr, Molly Flood, Molly K Flood, depending on what you're looking for, art or memes. And we got Yayo Talk Show Tumblr. So if you're caught up with our show, and One Piece, please come hang out over there because I'll post stuff to what we're talking about. So,
Well, going along with how most movies end, now that you've listened to the episode, you've joined our crew. With that comes the responsibility of telling your friends, leaving a comment, following us all over social media at Yayo Talk Show, and letting Caden watch the show or read the manga or the movies in One Piece. So come aboard, and we'll see you next time on Yayo Talk Show.
And if you want to see some real idols, go to twitch.tv/Yayo Talk Show.
Aww.
Wait, and am I Miku?
No. No.
Can I be one of the Squid Sisters?
No.
No, I want to be I want to be Big Man. I want to be Big Man. Can I be Big Man?
Yeah,
please,
that's
please
allowed.
let me be Big Man.
Allowed. I'll allow that because I want to see it.
I'm a bucket.
Yay!
Talking about One Piece.